Welcome. Today's day 19, the transformation journey. Today, my thoughts are around the idea that as you personally transform, you can also transform other areas of your life for your work or for your business. Now, this has always been troubling to me, right? I started out on a transformation journey and I put a lot of effort and I put a lot of energy into trying to transform my own personal life. And that takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of time. As I wake up in the morning, I'm running, I'm writing, I'm doing journal entries. I'm focused on things. I'm taking time for myself. I'm taking meditation time. I'm taking time away from what normally would be productive work hours. So for most of my life, I've been in this situation where I just work all the time. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll just start working, start answering emails, start replying right away, doing all of that, just getting things going. And that's always served me well. Putting a lot of effort into my work has always served me well, but that comes at a cost. I tend to not focus on myself very much or my own personal health very much. I tend to forget that I need to be a balanced person, that I need to be healthy. And so my focus on the work ends up causing me to fail in my personal health. So I've always battled with this idea because the more I put into my personal transformation, the less time I'm spending on my work or in my case, my business. So how do I reconcile that? Well, as I'm going through this latest transformation journey and I'm putting more time into myself, I realized, you know what? It's not a dichotomy. It's not an either or. It's not a black and white thing. I'll give you an example. Several years ago, I was running a business unit that was rather struggling. I mean, it wasn't hitting the goals that I wanted to achieve, nor the business wanted to achieve. So I tried lots of different tactics and strategies to get the business growing. I kept trying different ideas, and none of them really worked that well. I mean, they had some effect, but let's be honest, it wasn't really impacting the business. I kept trying to do cool things, and those cool things just weren't working out. So then I decided to start focusing on my personal self, because at the time I was gaining a little too much weight and I just felt unhealthy. But I wanted it just to do better. So I started really diving into, eating better and exercising more and a few other things that I was doing to improve my life. And as I did so, I started feeling better. And I noticed that, yeah, I was spending less time at work, but I started noticing the time at work that I was spending was more effective. I was more focused. I was more engaging. And while I was running in the morning, I was coming up with great ideas. So I was having time to myself to think, not just work, but to actually process information and think about things. So I would start my workday a little later than normal. I'd start my workday like 8:30 or 9 when I used to start my workday at 5 a.m. But now I was coming with a fresh perspective, new ideas, and energy. As I did that, I started noticing after a couple of months that other people in my organization, other teammates of mine, started to also engage in their own personal transformation journey. They weren't doing the same things I was doing, but they were also working on their goals. So we were all kind of doing that together. And I don't know if this wasn't a conscious thing. I just think it's infectious. When you see one person doing something, you kind of want to do that too. I look at it like this: if you are a business leader, or you're or you have some level of responsibility for an organization, and you start working on your own life, it's like upgrading the engine on the vehicle. You are the engine, right? So as you upgrade that engine, the vehicle just goes faster and things go better and everybody goes along with it. So as you raise the level of yourself, you raise the level of everyone around you. That's pretty interesting. So what happened in my business is as everybody was working on their own personal transformation, not everybody, but some were, I noticed that the business was just improving in general. I think it was a combination of I was bringing a lot of fresh ideas and new energy to the business. I think other people were working on things in their own life, which was also giving them more enthusiasm in their own lives. So as we did so, I suddenly started seeing a very rapid increase in the revenue generation of the business, which is exactly what we wanted. So your personal transformation effort is not in vain. In fact, you could say that working on yourself, on your own personal health, is very much working on your business. Because as you improve personally, so will everything around you improve. And this is just something I have faith in now. So every hour I spend trying to improve myself is also an hour that I'm spending improving my work life. Well, anyway, hopefully that gives you some motivation and some justification for spending time on yourself.